Guys, I hope you're good. I hope you can see me. It is a Halloween evening. It's pretty flipping cold, but I still like making these videos outside for some reason. I can't get used to doing it inside. I just want to talk about one thing. I'm not going to get my laptop out and go through all the notes I've got and stuff over the last couple of weeks. But I just want to talk about Team Trees and what a bloody great job they're doing. Jimmy, Mr. Beast, you've got all of the top YouTubers involved. And today something really cool started happening. Treelon happened, Jack Dorsey, Susan from YouTube, who Alfie made a video with recently, the CEO of Shopify. Basically, the whole internet has come together, and I think 4 or 5 days in, they're 11 million trees, with the Arbor Day Foundation doing $1 a tree. So there are 3 main costs with planting trees: the sapling, putting it in the ground, and the actual ownership of the land itself. I think the only cost they're accounting for is the sapling. I don't know who's doing the planting or where the trees are going in, but if any of you guys do know, then please let me know. But this is amazing, and I have no doubt that Jimmy is going to get to his target of 20 million trees by January 1st, 2020. That's a great effort, and it's amazing watching the world come together to pull this off. But I guess what I'm doing here in these videos is thinking, what do we do from 2020 to 2030? I was recently with a climate scientist who had just been at a symposium with other climate scientists, and he said something incredibly sobering to me. He said for the first time in his career, he's now talking about an ELE, an extinction level event. And he's saying that there is a 5% likelihood that in 2080, humanity will be no more. And he said that's basically like being told that you've got stage 1 cancer. You can get radiotherapy, you can get chemotherapy, you can take loads of steps to hopefully get rid of that disease, that virus that's spreading through your body. But if you do nothing, it may well go to stage 2 and the odds of death become higher. And that was incredibly sobering for me. In fact, I think I swore under my breath and welled up, because that is like before my niece even has a chance to retire. There's a chance, a real chance, that there may not be, she may not live to see her retirement. And he says that we have 10 good years between 2020 and 2030 to try to change that. Chatting with all these different experts at this little event I was at, I realized that there are 4 key ingredients to any good land project. And that is, and you can ask it in questions, what is happening to the biodiversity on this land? What is happening to the soil quality, the nutrients in the soil in this land? How much carbon is this land capturing? And does this land create food? Because ultimately, that's where the rubber hits the road on systemic change, is we need food to live. And we talked in previous videos about 48% of land in the UK is either for meat or for crops or animals to eat so we can eat them. I really do truly believe that planting trees is one of the most hopeful, practical and tangible things that we can do. But we've got a problem. We would need 50,000 events where the whole world came together to give to plant trees to get to 1 trillion trees planted. And that doesn't even account for the deforestation we're facing at the same time. And I don't know about you, I can believe that we could pull off a team tree 10 times, 20 times, 100 times maybe over the next 10 years. Once a month for the next 10 years would pretty much be 100 events. We could maybe pull that off, but 50,000, not 100, not 1,000, not 10,000, but 50,000 times, I don't believe that's going to happen, no matter. And actually, if you look at all the different tree projects, all the different tree charities, many of whom I've put in these videos, nearly all of them are between 1 and 20 million trees, which is amazing and very, very helpful, but it doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't get to the kind of incredible, ridiculous scale that we need it to. We need to put another 10% of the earth back into forestry, and we need to make sure that that forestry makes food. Obviously it captures carbon if it is forest, that it puts soil quality back in, and that we do it in a way that increases biodiversity. And if we do that, we get a bloody good chance of saving the planet. So I just want to say, like, if you're involved in the Team Tree project, amazing, brilliant, go for it. But also, if you're part of Team Tree, Jimmy and the rest of you, if you want to talk about how we go from 20 million to a trillion, then please hit me up. I would love to chat, because I just wish it would, but I really don't think that just philanthropy and giving will get us all the way there. And believe me, I've spent 5 years of my life building a charity donation platform. Giving and philanthropy is a vitally important human behavior. It's instrumental in the third sector to building civil society and making up for gaps where governments don't do their jobs. But we also have to recognize the natural constraints. It doesn't seem to get to that kind of scale that we need. The only thing that I've seen that gets to the scale of trillions is economics, is economy. It's where you return value to the person who's investing in this asset. And I think we need a new instrument, which is why I'm working on my tree coin idea. And thank you so much to everybody that's participated. The crowdfunder is going great. It feels like absolute grains of sand on the beach compared to Team Trees, watching it go from 1 million to 10 million, 11 million. But because what we're trying to do has potentially the economic power behind it to actually have a chance at making a dent in the problem, that's why I'm continuing to put my effort there. And it's the same with Extinction Rebellion. You see all this active protest on the streets, and I think, God, that's so obviously a good thing, but I'm going to carry on working on this. And then I see Team Tree planting millions of trees, and I think, oh, that's amazing. But I'm going to just carry on sitting here in my hut trying to work on this. And so thank you to the 40 or 50 of you that have helped intellectually. Thank you to the handful of you that have shared it socially with friends on and offline. And thank you so much to all of you that financially have helped it by putting your hands in your pocket and getting 1, 10 or 100 trees. If you want to get involved, the link is below. It's just about doing a prototype of the first 1,000 trees in Scotland. Tina in Australia, thank you for coming forward to be one of the growers. Hopefully we'll be able to put 1,000 trees down there. We'll be doing a patch of trees in Belgium at the castle, and we'll probably do a couple of other spots down in Sussex on the estate I'm on. We'll do hopefully a patch down there. I found a couple of acres that you'll see in a video I'm posting next week, although I recorded it a few days ago. Actually really interesting what happens when a tree falls in the woods. Does anyone hear it? Does anyone pick it up? Does anyone sell it? Does anyone buy it? I'll probably post that after this one. But anyway, a massive congrats Jimmy and the whole team. Team Tree is amazing. In fact, I'm going to get some trees as well just to be a part of it. What do we do from 2020 to 2030? How do we do not the next 20 million, not the next 200 million, not the 2 billion, 20 billion, 200 billion, but how do we get 7 logarithms, 7 zeros further and get to a trillion, capture those 200 gigatons, increase our chance of survival so that we don't burn. I mean, it sounds like we're inside some Netflix show, isn't it? But unfortunately, this is the reality that we're facing. Also, I've got to throw it in there at the end. Planting trees, increasing our carbon budget is not the whole ticket. That is only one part of this remedy. We need to look at our own habits, our own flying, our own emissions, and that's a lifestyle. Frankly, guys, it's probably the rest of our lives that we're going to be hacking bits of that we thought were good in our lives, hacking them away. I think that's just the way it is now. We need to get agile. We need to stay fluid and movable. We can't get too locked into ideas we thought were good, because we need to be responsive to the world we find ourselves in. Tomorrow's November. It's swirl season. We're going to be on the road. Elvis and Cressy, then coming to the castle, then the global open tables, Melbourne, Mexico and Manchester. If you're not already involved, get involved. Go to Team Trees. I'll put the link in below. And well done Treelon for getting involved. I think you've helped expand it out to the mainstream world. Take care of yourselves, guys. I'll see you very soon.